أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. Can you all hear me? Assalamu alaikum, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. Assalamu alaikum جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. Thank you very much for joining in session 2 of our course. This is level 1. Of course, level 2 will be session 12 because we had done 10 sessions earlier. It's good to see that most of us are here on time, so we can start also on time. As you know, there is also level 2, so I have to continue talking till 10 p.m. Okay, any volunteer who would recite this dua? If you are there, then you can just unmute yourself and recite. Otherwise, at least please get ready for next week. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. اللهم وفقنا لما تحب وترضى ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين أبدا. اللهم أخرجنا من ظلمات الوهم واكرمنا بنور الفهم. اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We discussed this dua briefly just last week or so. Again, I will just discuss today, but inshallah, I won't repeat again then. Allahumma wafiqna lima tuhibbu wa tarda. Oh Allah, just grant us success. He said tawfiq. Oh Allah, give us tawfiq in that which you love and which you are pleased with. لما تحب وترضى. ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين أبدا. This was the dua of the Prophet, except that we have changed into a plural. Prophet used to say, ولا تكلني إلى نفسي طرفة عين أبدا. Allah, do not leave us to ourselves for the blink of an eye. In other words, we need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at every stage. Okay? And then, of course, what comes is a dua before class, before reciting. If you would like to just Allah open your mind to be able to understand what we are learning and remember and retain. So, Allahumma akhrijna min dhulumat. Oh Allah, remove from us the darkness of doubt and error. Because as long as the error and doubts and skepticism in our mind, that will block for us to open our mind to the light of knowledge. Keep this in mind. So the first thing is that, for example, when you want to arrange your room properly, first thing is that we clear it, right? We clean it, and then start doing it. So we just try to clear our mind of this waham and darkness. And then after removing the darkness of doubt and error, and then favor with us the light of understanding. Okay? The light of understanding. And then we say, وَكْرِمْنَا بِنُورِ الْفَهْمِ. And then now, oh Allah, just at the same time, open for us the doors of mercy. Oh Allah, favor for us the light of understanding. Oh Allah, open for us the doors of your mercy and pour for us the treasure of your knowledge. He said, Allahumma أكرمنا بنور الفهم. اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Okay, somebody's put a mark there. Can you remove it? Do you know how to remove it? Somebody's put a mark there on the screen. Or was it done by me? I don't think so. In any case. Okay, fine. That's fine, okay. So last week we discussed briefly, thank you. Last week we discussed briefly what the objective of the course. It is important that we realize what the objective is. Always in life, it is important to know the objective. For example, if I want to just now go to Mississauga, then I know that this is where my objective is. Accordingly, I will plan my trip, right? Which road I'll take, where should I go, depending where the traffic is. So objective is very important. We should know the objective that we try to appreciate the language of the Quran, because Quran was revealed by Allah in Arabic, and there are verses. I had requested you to look at these verses. We had a chance to do that. And then, of course, we would like to experience the original divine message. It means whatever Allah has said, we like to experience it in its origin form. It should not be just come to us through translation. Yeah. I gave an example of a Fuzail who, when I heard this ayat, Alam ya'ni lillazina amanu an takhsha qulubuhum li dhikrillah, his life changed. It was just reflected on that verse of ayat, right? Using Quranic words to learn. We try to learn the meaning of the Quranic words. I had asked you to at least learn 10 words. We'll see if anybody has learned those things. We'll come to it, inshallah, later on. Now, and memorizing Quranic phrases. Remember, I told you that we try to use Kuli Karai in Quran, translation by Kuli Karai. The good thing that he is translated by phrase. So what you can do, you can, for example, sometimes take a pencil and highlight some of the phrases and memorize that thing. It's easier to memorize phrase in the translation, then you can also use it in your daily life. You can quote it. And of course, we said it's a learning simple Arabic grammar. Yeah, we will also have to learn the grammar, which I know many people find it a little difficult. But as we said, that Arabic grammar is backbone of any language, especially more so in Arabic, because otherwise you can make a big mistake when we recite. Okay? So those are the objectives we said. And then I also shared with you a beautiful hadith that you can see all our life we have been learning to recite Quran. We listen to Quran. We go to, for example, Majlis. There is Quran, there is Surat Yasin, sometimes right, Surat Rahman. You go to marriage, there is Surat Rahman. If there is a death, then we say Surat Yasin, Surat Mulk. All those things, these are listening, right? Listening or reciting will give us reward of one sawab for every, harf, for every letter. You'll find that for every letter, a good deed written, and one bad deed will be removed from our record, and our rank will rise by a degree for every verse, every letter of the Quran, right? But if you instead learn the Quran, try to understand the Quran, learn the Quran, then the reward is 10 times. Okay? So keep this in mind, that there is a lot of reward and emphasis of learning Quran, which you are doing, which I appreciate that. No? Yeah. What is expected of us is very important, because we did receive, I think, 2 homework, and third came a little late, so I've not had time to look at it. So 3 people submitted the homework from 15. So you can imagine that that is quite low. We need to put some kind of efforts. And what I was trying to say, that it is 2 to 3 hours, and try to find a colleague. So there are 2 people. I think one was Glambas, the other brother. I think there was another brother was Sajad or Heather. I think somebody else. Check it. Both of them said that they don't mind if the number or email be shared. So inshallah, I'll do that. No? I'll share it with you, so you can try to just pair with somebody in the class. No? If you can see the name here, then you can do it. It will help. Otherwise, anybody for that matter. Let's try to develop some kind of fun. But the most important is putting the 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours per week, and let us try to learn 5 words a day, 7 words a day, 10, and then 14. What I asked you was 10 words over a whole week. Whole week. That means no less than 2 words a day, right? Because the whole week is even 6, 7 days. If you see, or 6 days, I give you only 10 words over a whole week. No? So that is important. This is what is expected, and please try to put efforts. Otherwise, you're wasting your time, and also you'll find that you will not progress. Okay. So last week we discussed lesson 1, noun, verb, and particle. And we said that noun is in Arabic known as ism, which is the name of any living being, or object, or idea. Example, a book, a man, or a command, right? Normally in Arabic, the language ism means name. And then in our book, in our text, I hope all of you know, in our text, there will be examples. So there will be examples of noun. So there is kitabun, a book. There is huwa. Huwa means he, which is pronoun. We are going to come to. So all pronouns are automatically ism. Keep in mind, huwa. Qiyamun. Qiyamun is standing. So it's a name of an action. You may be saying standing is a verb in English, but no, here in Arabic, standing here is an action. So al-qiyam, for example, when we say in terminology of fiqh, qiyam or hadith, it would mean what standing. For example, the month of Ramadan, which is not far, is coming. It is known as Shahr al-Siyam or Shahr al-Qiyam. Shahr al-Siyam, that means month of fasting, we know about it, but it also is known as Shahr al-Qiyam. That means you spend your time in saying prayers, a lot of prayers, right? You spend the night saying prayers. So it's Shahrul Qiyam, Shahrul Siyam. So Qiyam means standing, right? So Qiyam here also is there, standing. The name Muhammad, right? So these are the examples. This is an ism, right? Fail is what indicates or describes an action. Somebody does an action that is fail, right? So for example, fa'ala, he did. Or yaf'alu, he does, right? So that example is there. Or for example, khalaqa, he created, right? And then of course the third one we did was harf. Anything which is not a noun or a verb is a particle. So here is in, ida, fi. So fi is a preposition. So if fi is a preposition, which is a harf, all preposition will be harf. Keep that in mind. Okay? So these are we did, and then we looked at Surah Al-Fatiha, which to see that what is a noun, what is verb, and what is harf. That's what you did, right? And then we asked you to look at Surah Al-Qadr, which, mashallah, 3 of you did, which you look at it. No? And finally, what we discussed last week is that we should be careful about long vowels and short vowels. Because sometimes, first of all, if you don't do it correctly, that you are reciting incorrectly, which is not good. It goes against the rule of the tajweed, good recitation. But sometimes even meanings can change. So we gave you 2 examples. وَمَنْ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ بِسْمِ اللَّهِ وَمَا تَأْتِيهِمْ مِنْ آيَةٍ مِنْ آيَاتِ رَبِّهِمْ. So the first one is ayat, singular. The second one, ayat, is plural, right? Which is same ayat, one is short, ayatin, ya has a short vowel. The second ayat, ya has a long vowel, ayat. So ayatin, ayati, these are, one is short vowel, one is long vowel. The first one is singular, the other is plural. So, and then qala rabbana. So qala rabbana means the 2 of them. Ibrahim, so Adam and Hawa said, Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa in lam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna min al-khasirin. Right? Oh Allah, we have, that means both Adam and Hawa said, we have wronged ourselves. If you do not forgive us and have mercy on us, we will be amongst those who will be losers, because Allah will not be happy with them, right? So this is, you can see, qala is a long vowel. If you say qala, he said. Qala means the 2 of them said. Who? Adam and Hawa. So this was what was just the gist of it. So, and then of course, I know, as I said, there's some people who, with the background of Pakistan, Iran, or India, they don't use for the harakat, for the vowel sign. They use zer, zabr, and pesh. So when we say kasra, it means zer. When we say fatah, it means zabr. When we say dhamma, it means pesh. Okay, so keep this in mind. So this was a quick revision. Now let us come to the homework. MashaAllah, all those who answered, they've answered most of them correctly. And I really appreciate taking time. In fact, the first homework came immediately. I think the same day or early in the morning, second day, it was there, which shows commitment. Now, it shows that somebody is interested. No, this is how it should be. Usually, the best way to do homework is the following day, because everything is fresh. If you leave it till last day, as I received, I think, one homework today or last night, I'm not sure, which I will not be able to even look at it. So it becomes, you forget about it. You have to know, again, check back and do everything. So I have to do it immediately fresh. Okay? Always, when it comes to Quran, it is important that we say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Now, where does this thing come? Anybody knows? Where do we get this thing idea that we start with A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim? Anybody knows? What is the origin of this? Please, no. Even if it's strong, don't worry. You will not be censored or punished. No, it's just Please try. Anybody knows where the idea came that we say A'udhu billahi minash shaitan rajim? Yeah, hold on. Somebody just said here. From the Quran, good, very good. That's correct. And nowhere in Quran. Let us try to. I hope I remember my reference. Yes, that's correct. وَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. You know the reference? Yeah. That is correct, Sister Arshi. I'm just trying to find the reference now. Okay, good. It is Surah number 16, ayat number 98. Can you please open? I hope, as I told you, that please bring the Quran. Go to Surah number 16, ayat number 98. If you have the same print of the Quran which I'm using, then it's page number 382. Page 382. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن. See what Allah says. إذا قرأت القرآن فاستعذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Allah says, when you recite the Quran, seek protection of Allah against Shaitan, who is outcast, regime. Because Shaitan was just thrown away from Jannah after he misled Adam and Hawa. He was thrown away. He was regime. He became regime. He was outcast. Okay? He disobeyed. So you can see it is a command from the Quran itself that when you recite the Quran, it is important. And this is required throughout. There is no exception to this rule. Okay, so for example, when you are reciting Quran, you should not keep your phone nearby. But let's say that you are expecting an urgent call, or you are a doctor on a call, and the phone came, and you stopped the Quran and took the phone, right? Fine, you can do that. But what would you do once you finish talking? And now you want to continue, again, you have to say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, because in between you now talk, which was not part of the Quran. Okay? So, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim is a Quranic injunction, it's a Quranic order. Now, on Surah number 16, which is Nahl, ayat number 98. فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. Now, also another point I would like to make is that, inshallah, Ramadan is not far. Many of you are going to participate in Quran Kani. Okay, make point that when you recite the Quran in a gathering, just say this way: A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Some people would like to add A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. That is fine. You can do it in other places. Let's say if you are lecturing or if you are giving a majlis, that's okay. But for Quran, Allah has specifically said that when you recite Quran, then seek protection from Shaitan, the outcast. Okay, so this is a Quranic injunction. Okay, all of you. Thank you very much, sister. I appreciate your answer, which was also correct. Okay, so we should remember the reference. So last week also I put this sentence. Today also do it, but now in future I won't do it because you know this is the rule. Okay, and this is without exception. Any passage of Quran you recite, it has to be there. Okay, and then we come to the surah. Any volunteer can recite the surah.
Salam, Sheikh. You mean this surah in front of us right now?
Bismillah, please.
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر. ليلة القدر خير من ألف الشهر. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر.
It's very important that let us please. This is not a majlis. It's not a lecture. This is a classroom. Okay, so it's very important that all of us get involved in it, so you feel comfortable. So yes, now this is the surah, and we will not get into tafsir or meaning just now because our homework was just to use color code to identify the three what speech, right? One is noun, other was verb, and particle. And what you find that I have not highlighted, billahi, bismi, fiha, biizni, these four words you can see I have not highlighted. They are all black. It's because they are combined of two things, which I didn't expect just now for you to know. If you know it, it's nur ala nur, but lain rajim means no. I seek refuge in the shaitan, who is outcast, and the one who is cursed, la'in, from la'nat. Okay, so it's correct, of course, that he also has been away from mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But since Allah said that we say shaitan rajim, we should limit to that when it comes to Quran. When you are lecturing or in other place, you can do that. Okay, so coming to it here. Last week we already did this. Auzu is a verb. I seek protection. Billahi means with Allah. But bi is a particle, Allah is a noun. So it's a combination of two. That's why I did not highlight, because I didn't expect just now for you to break this in knowing this. If you know it, nurun la nur, but we have not covered it. Min shaitan is min. Min is a particle from. A shaitan is the Satan. A regime who is outcast. Okay? Again, bismi. So bismi also is made up of ba and ism, in the name of, in the name of Allah, for example. So ba is the particle, ism is the noun. Again, it's a combination of particle and noun. If you know it, fine, but if you, I didn't expect you to know because you're not covered. So that's why I'll not highlight. Allah is a noun, proper name of Allah. This is known as Ismul Jalala. Ismul Jalala is a divine name. It is such a divine name that Allah written in any language. Allah in Arabic, Allah written in English, ALLAH, Allah written in Gujarati, Allah written, for example, in other script, right? You cannot touch it without wudu. This is a divine name. Okay? This is not Ismul Jalala, the greatest name of Allah, the divine name. So it's a very holy name. Keep that in mind. So Allah is noun, Rahman and Rahim. These are noun. Of course, they're adjective, but they are noun. In that three kind of word speech, whether noun or verb or particle, these are all nouns. Inna, surely we, that is a particle. Anzalnahu has two things, but I will highlight it because I wanted to. Why? Because it will take us to our next lesson, and that is pronoun. Okay? So anzalna is we reveal. We have revealed. Who is it? So we have revealed it. That means referring to Quran. Allah says, "Inna anzalnahu." So who is a pronoun? Remember, I told you all pronouns are nouns. Okay, in this, all ism, all noun. So inna, we have revealed it. Fi is a particle. Layla is night. Laylatul Qadr. Now it was Laylatun, became Laylati. We'll do it later on, inshallah. In lesson 4, 5, when we come to prepositions, we'll come to this now. But just now, Laylatul Qadr is a noun. Okay? Wa is a particle. It's known as conjugation. For example, I am talking, and also I am using my hands to show gesture. So N, conjugation. He is a boy and he stole. So that N is conjugation. So ma is here means what? It is also a noun. So wama adraka is make you realize, or show you, for example, or you make you realize, or it's to understand its importance. Wama adraka ma laylatul qadr. When Allah wants to say something which is very important, very special, and significant, he uses the word adraka. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't check it today, but from my recollection of the past, I think it comes 13 times. But I can exactly, if somebody interested, I can check for you. So it comes in the Quran when Allah talks about this. So what would make you sure, what would make you realize what is the Qadr? Allah said. Then he himself answers. Before even we, for example, try to say it's a long night, it's a special night, it's a holy night. No, he says, Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. He says that that is better than 1,000 months. So Laylatul Qadri khayrun alfin shahr, all these are nouns, mean is a particle. Tanazzalu. Tanazzalu is a verb. It means descend down. Tanazzalu malaikatu wa ruh. On this night, the angels and the ruh. Ruh is the main angel, the chief of all the angels. Some people believe that ruh refers to Jibreel, but what we know that it is the main angel, not the chief angel. So Tanazzalu malaikatu, angels and their chief, they get down. Fiha. Again, fiha. Fi is a particle, ha is a what pronoun, and that's why I did not highlight it, because it's made up of two things. The izni, again, ba is also what particle, but izn is a noun. But I didn't expect just now for us to, I've just left it. No, Rabbihim, their Lord. Of course, Rabb is Lord, and him is the pronoun we are going to come. So Rabbihim, like who we said. So their Lord. Mean again is particle. Kullish amrin, in all affairs. Salamun, that means peace. Here, that means that night, refers to Layla. That night is peaceful, hatta, until matla al-fajr, when the rising of the dawn. Okay. So this was the homework, which alhamdulillah, many of you did, and it was done well. I just thought that since we are discussing what this ayat, let me just talk about the merits of this surah. Inshallah, I hope that we will get the opportunity. Whoever recites this surah will be rewarded like the one who fasted in the month of Ramadan. So just now recite it. If you just recite it, you get the reward of fasting in the month of Ramadan. If you recite on the night of Qadr, the reward will be like the one who fought in the way of Allah. And that is why one of the amal of night of Qadr is reciting Surah Al-Qadr 1,000 times. So if you can't do 1,000 times, do whatever you can. Or at least try 100 times. Okay. So keep this in mind since we discussed this thing. So that was the homework, which I expect you to do it. Okay. Now we go to this some of the terminologies which will come across again and again. Okay. So here it is. Pronoun is a word instead of a noun. So in the place of, for example, Ali is Amirul Mu'mineen, right? Ali is the Kamal of Faithful. He is the first Imam. So now he is the first Imam refers to who? Same Ali, okay, who is Amirul Mu'mineen. So Ali is Amirul Mu'mineen, he's the Kamal of Faithful, he's the first Imam. So that he, referring to the previous, is a pronoun, okay? Example, he, she, and it. In Arabic, we have got huwa, here, huwa for he, here for she, but huwa and here for it also. In English, we have got, for example, he, she, and it. But in Arabic, huwa can be used for it, and he also can be used. Because in Arabic, every noun has a gender, masculine or feminine. So sometimes it can be a thing which has a masculine gender. For example, here it is. Huwa Quran. It is a Quran. So Quran in Arabic is a masculine gender. Okay? It's not that any kind of features are there. It's just because everything has a masculine and feminine gender. So Quran is given a masculine. But on the other hand, fitnatun, that means trial, a test. So fitnatun is a feminine. So here fitnatun, but still it is a test. And for example, snake, hayyatun, it is also what a feminine form. So we say here hayyatun, it is a snake. But you can see that here, right, it is used for test and also for a snake. See, but it is also used for Quran. You see, so these are some of the examples. We'll try to, as much as possible, to give you examples in the Quran. My request to you, to all of you, is please open the Quran. After you're done today's class, please, all these references which we give you, do open the Quran. Because now if you open the Quran, your status is different. you are no longer just reciter. Now you are researching the Quran. Okay, so keep in mind, now you are a student of the Quran, so now your reward will be 10 times. So now you're looking at with a idea of studying it, of understanding it. So studying and studying, you will get rewarded. Keep that in mind. Okay. So look at these verses completely. Adjective is what describes the word. When a word is described, for example, we say Bismillahi ar-Rahman rahim. So in the name of Allah, now who is this Allah? Who is the merciful, the compassionate, right? So all merciful or compassionate, that Rahman and Rahim is an adjective. It describes. Okay? So whatever describes is adjective. A straight path, for example, a noble Quran, right? Sirat Mustaqim, Quran and Kareem, right? So these are all what Mustaqim is adjective, which describes the path. Kareem is adjective of Quran, which describes Quran is noble. Okay? Adverbs adds information about a verb. So adjective or another verb, for example. So when something is added more information about a verb or an adjective or another verb, right? He speaks, example, he speaks slowly. So speak is a verb, right? Slowly. So now it's telling us how does it speak. So when something describes the action, that is an adverb. He speaks gently. So again, it describes speaking, right? He speaks fast. Okay? Tanween, this will come offer. Tanween is when you put dhammatain, kasratain, fatatain. So there is tanween. So for example, if you go back to our you go back to our surah, here is, you see, khayrun. Do you see khayrun? This khayrun has tanween. So this is known as tanween. So tanween is when there is dhamma or kasra or fatha, which is twice. Now that is known as tanween. Okay? You will come across it a lot. So keep in mind. So tanween means putting end sound at the end of the word. We often notice double fatha, double kasra, double dhamma at the end of words. It takes the place of an indefinite article in English represented by a or noun. This is good. So what it means, what is the meaning of tanween? It's telling us that when you find tanween, for example, al-qadr means the power or the esteem, right? Salamun also here you can see is tanween, right? Tanween is this tanween takes the place of a, for example, al-book. So a book is indefinite. So khairun means a good, right? Salamun, a peace, right? So when you find tanween or amrin, this is also tanween. You can see amrin, salamun, shahrin, khairun. All these are tanween. These are indefinite forms. Definitely be al, al-Rahman, al-Rahim, okay? But the al-Qadr, these are definite, but this is indefinite. Shahrin, salamun, khairun. So these are tanween, okay? Keep in mind. So these are some of the words I thought we will come across it again and again. Please try to master them, understand them. Okay. Now we come to lessons 2 and 3. So if you please open lesson 2 there in your book. Let's open lesson 2 in our book and just very quickly go through it. There's just this basic point there. Is there anything which you don't understand there? Is there any aspect which you would like me to discuss? The most important point is the format of the table. Do you see the table? We will use this table again and again in the same format. The format is what? That on the right side, the first column on the right side is the person, right? Person and gender. So third person, second person, first person. Now you can see there are 5 rows. Why 5 rows? 2 rows for third person, 2 rows for second person, because first, third person and second person has masculine and feminine format. But when it comes to first person, it's same, masculine and feminine. So that's why there are 5 rows. So there is gender, that means man or woman, masculine or feminine, and person. Okay, there is a right column. And then, of course, again with that, we've got singular, dual, plural. In English, for example, you've got only singular and plural, right? But in French and also in Arabic, you've got singular, dual, and plural. Okay? So this kind of table, you should master this. You will come to it again and again. Okay, that there is a third person masculine, third person feminine, second person masculine, second person feminine, and then first person. And please keep the same order. Even if you're a feminist, then you don't say, oh, because I'm a feminist, I'm going to start with third person feminine, then masculine. That you can keep your belief and your idea with you. Just now, you'll use this, this format because this is standard format. Okay. If you don't do that, then there'll be a lot of mess because we don't know what you are referring to. So keep in mind that whenever we try to conjugate, we will conjugate using this kind of format. Okay, this is the standard format. They use it. We'll come later on that why Allah is used as he and not she. We'll come to it later on, inshallah. Okay, as we progress. But just now, for our purpose, whenever we are going to conjugate, that means whenever we are going to take a word and trying to see singular, dual, plural, and then in masculine, feminine, all those things, we will use this format. Okay, so there are, you can see 5 times 3, okay, 15, this what boxes we have to fill. Okay, so that is very important. Any question as far as lesson 2 is concerned? Again, you can ask by unmuting yourself, or you can also chat, put in the chat. Any questions as far as lesson 2 is concerned? Okay, so I don't see any hands being raised there. So let's go to lesson 3. The lesson 3 is where we are getting into pronouns. Okay? Pronouns. So you can see pronouns are divided in 2 categories. One is detached pronoun, another is attached pronoun. So pronouns can be detached. That means it is a word on its own. It's not joined with another word. It is detached. So you can call it detached or independent, a word on its own. Attached, that means you attach. For example, I'll give you an example attached in the surah earlier. So here is Inna anzalnahu. Do you see? We revealed it. So Inna anzalna, we revealed it. This who is an attached pronoun. Who refers to Quran, we revealed it. But it is attached to the verb anzalna. Are you with me? So who here is attached pronoun. On the other hand, the same, if you say you want to reveal it, if it was detached, it will be huwa. Okay, it will be huwa. Example, he, huwa. So the pronouns can be either attached or detached. But today we'll just look at detached. Detached and independent. Detached simply means that it is a word on its own. It's not joined with other word before that or after that. It's a word on its own. Are you all with me? Yes, so that is detached pronoun. So then this is the complete table of the detached pronoun, which I want all of us should be able to know it. So next week, as we start the class, I would expect that you will say this thing from your memory. Huwa, huma, hum. So first is third person masculine. Okay, third person masculine, huwa, huma, hum. Third person feminine, hiya, huma, hunna. Okay, second person masculine, anta, antuma, antum. Second person feminine, anti, antuma, antun. Right? And then, of course, we go to first person. It is singular, ana, and then dual and plural is same. So when it comes to first person, it's easy. Unlike third and second person, right? You can see with first person, there is no difference in gender. So the boy can say ana, the girl can say ana. And then dual means we. So we in English, for example, means 2 or 3 or 300. In Arabic also we. Nahnu means more than one. That's all. Nahnu is used for 2, 3, 4, 3,000, right? Ana means I. So are you all with me? Any questions regarding this? So let us start. Is there a volunteer who can read this table? Third person masculine. Anybody there? Third person masculine.
هو.
Go ahead. هو.
حمى. حم.
Awesome. The entire row, because first is singular. Yeah, so third person masculine. Huwa, huma, hum. Somebody third person feminine.
Okay, can I say it?
Bismillah, bismillah.
Here, huma, hunna.
Good, awesome. Here, huma, hunna. So the third person feminine. Second person masculine.
Should I continue or somebody else?
Somebody else. Let's just give people a chance. I want students to open up, right, in the class. This is the class situation.
So, Anta, Antuma, Antum.
Asant. Anta, antuma, antum. Very good. Next one, second person feminine.
Anti, antuma, antun.
Asanta. Anti, antuma, antunna. Okay. In this case, we are going to recite completely with a vowel. For example, usually we say Muhammadun, but we just say Muhammad, right? Because in Arabic we pause with sakin. But just now, as students, we are going to say, so we will say Antunna. We won't say Antun, although what she said Antun is correct. But just now, we are going to pronounce the complete vowel signs. Are you with me? Because we are just now students. So keep that. So yeah, huwa, huma, hum. And then here, huma, anna, anta, antum, antun, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, and ana, nahnu. Okay. Now, let's see how sharp is our memory. Okay, so now I'm going back. Can somebody tell me from the memory? Third person masculine?
Yes, Hua, Huma, Hum.
Asant. Huwa, huma, hum. Very good. Third person feminine?
Hiya, huma, hunna.
Asant. Here, huma, hunna. Very good. Second person masculine?
Anta, antuma, antum.
Anta, antuma, antum. Asant. Second person feminine?
Anti, antuma, antunna.
Asant. Anti, antuma, antunna. Now, first person singular and plural. Anybody?
أنا.
نحن.
Asant. Ana and Nahnu. Very good. Okay. So, mashallah, I really admire you people have a photographic memory because you just saw once here, and even in spite of being elder, you remember this. That's very good. I'm very encouraged now that shall. So this table you should know.
Excuse me, Sheikh. I have a question.
Bismillah.
Yeah, the first person, it's Anna is, you said, one person, right? Singular.
Yes. Yes.
So whether it's a girl or a boy, it's Anna.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, same.
And
Yeah.
same
First
thing
person,
with
there is no difference in gender.
So if it is a man or a woman, it's same.
Yes, same.
Same.
For example,
Okay.
a boy would say Ana Muhammad. A girl would say Ana Fatima. Still.
Okay. All right.
No difference.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. So when it comes to first person, there is no difference in gender. It's only third person and second person. Okay. Good. It's good. Please ask questions because that's how the same question maybe in the minds of others. So it gets clarified. This is the classroom, as I told you. Good. So this is lesson number 3, which is pronoun. Now what we'll do is that we are going to now identify here because your time. I thought this would be homework, but no, we'll do it now. Okay. So now that you already know the pronoun, independent pronoun, which pronouns complete list, what we are going to do is now we are going to highlight. Okay. So Bismillah ar-Rahman Rahim. Is there any pronoun there? This is Surah Al-Baqarah. Okay. First 10 verses. Any pronoun there?
No.
No, Asan. Alif Lam Mim. Any pronoun?
No.
No.
No pronoun. I want everybody please to get yes. There is no pronoun. Okay. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. Is there a pronoun there?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So since you said, can you identify where is the pronoun?
Yes, in fihi.
Very good.
So the
Fihi.
he.
Awesome. So whenever we are doing Quranic verses, the best thing for you is to keep the translation in front of you. Okay, it's very good. It's a good practice. Keep the translation in front of you. I could have put translation here, but we'll make it into 2 slides, and we go back and forth. I didn't want to do that. So please keep the Quran in front of you. No. So ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. That is the book in which there is no doubt. See, so in which that in which or in it there is no doubt. So fihi, in it, there is no doubt in it. Hudal muttaqin, it is a guidance for the muttaqin. So dhalikal kitabu, that is the pronoun here is he. Okay. Now of course you may ask me question that we did earlier. Now this you are right, you got it, but there is no independent pronoun. This is a detached pronoun. It's not this is a attached pronoun. Okay, number one. Plus you'll see inshallah detached pronoun was who, it was not he. How it became he, will come to it later on. Okay, but the answer was correct that he is a pronoun, although it is not a detached pronoun. What we are trying to do is just identify detached pronouns. Okay, now الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. Is there a pronoun here?
رزقناهم.
Asant. رزقناهم. So now let us look at the meaning and then see. Alladina. If anybody has a Quran open there,
Yes.
please,
Okay.
can you read the translation of this verse?
Who believe in
Number
the
3.
unseen?
Surah Al-Baqarah number 3.
Yeah. Who believe in the unseen, maintain the prayer, and spend out of what we have provided for them.
Yeah. So spend from what we have provided to them. See, so razaqnahum. So provided them. So this them is referring to pronoun. So these are the ones who believe bil ghaibi. They believe in the unseen. And establish prayers. And from what we have provided them, they spend. So, subhanallah, keep this in mind that the risk or provision we have, it is given, we believe, this is a strong point in Quran again and again, that any wealth you have is always coming from Allah. The only wealth which does not come from Allah is what? Something which comes to you, illegally, right? If I go and steal money and then become rich, or for example, I suddenly have $500 by stealing, that is not Allah's risk. That is shaitan's risk. That's coming shaitan. No, there is a very good joke. Let me share with you because we are in the class. Is that there is a place, I won't give you the name, but people here come from this country, they know this thing. If you go to this country or this city, you find outside the houses, they put a big plaque there, Quranic ayat. Haza min fadli rabbi. Anybody knows what is the meaning of that? Haza min fadli rabbi. Anybody knows what is the meaning of that?
I only know Haza, which is this.
Yeah, min fadli rabbi means
No,
from the
I don't.
grace of my Lord. Haza min fadli rabbi. Your homework is try to find exactly where it is in the Quran. So what people do outside their homes, big mansions, big bungalows, and all those things, they put this Hadam in Fadlabli. So there is a joke. The shaitan is, when he sees this thing, he's complaining. He says, "Oh Banda, I taught you how to lie, how to cheat, how to enrich yourself. I was the one who gave you the idea. And finally, when you got rich, you are saying this is from the grace of my Lord. It's not from your Lord, it is from me." So keep in mind that all provision, all the risk we have is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is not from Allah is something which is stolen. Okay, so they say that believers are those who believe first of all in the unseen, they establish prayers, and from what they have given them, they spend. Okay, next. وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ وَبِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُوقِنُونَ. Yes, anybody, is there any pronoun there?
Yes.
Bismillah.
Yeah. There's two. There's an attached
Yes.
qablika, and then there's a detached hum.
Good, okay. So, you said two. One was where? Qablika.
There's a qablika.
Okay.
There's an
Yes,
attached
okay, yeah.
pronoun, qablika.
Yes, exactly.
And then there's a detached pronoun, hum.
Okay, very good. Actually, if you see that way, there are two detached, sorry, one detached and two attached. Ilayka also has a pronoun attached, but we'll come to later on. And Qablika, you're right, also has an attached pronoun. And whom yuqinun. You can see whom here. Do you see whom here? This is known as detached, completely independent word. These same believers, one of the quality of this is وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ. They believe in what is revealed to you. You can see ilayka, to you. So this you is a pronoun. And what was revealed before you, before Rasulullah. وَبِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُوقِنُونَ. When it comes to akhirat, they not only believe, subhanAllah, Allah says they have certitude. Up to now, he was talking about belief. You can see about ghaib is a belief. No, about what book is a belief. About previous book is a belief. No? But when it comes to akhirat, these people have yaqeen on it. There is no doubt that after I die, there is answering, there is questioning, there is Jannah, there is Jahannam, there is Sirat, all those. So they have yaqeen on it. And this is one of the biggest challenges which we face. You know, Ayatollah Khomeini Marhum used to say, a very good example. He used to say that one of the reasons, one of the biggest reasons that we commit sins is because we don't have yaqeen hereafter. He says, if you are just coming out of the home and as you leave out, somebody sees you, says, don't go from this lane, take another lane, because in this lane I saw a snake, I saw a lion, for example, I saw a dog which bites. No, the moment that person tells you, you don't even know him. He's a stranger, but he saw you. You thought that he is wishing good for me, so I won't take that lane, right? That is it. And when you are sure, you definitely won't take that lane. He says that we commit sins because we don't have yaqeen thereafter. If you are sure that there is answering, there is questioning, no, there is azab, there is reward, all those things, then we'll be very careful. So Allah says, hum fil akhirati yuqinun, right? They have bil akhirati yuqinun, bil akhirati hum yuqinun. They are certain about thereafter. Okay? So this is a good example. You will continue until 10 verse to highlight what the independent pronoun. You can also do attached pronoun if you want, if you are sure. But just now what we want is just detached or independent pronouns, just highlight them, okay? And perhaps during the week I may email you if there's extra. Any questions? So lesson 1, 2, and 3. Any questions you have, lessons 1, 2, and 3? So then, please, let's go now to our text, page number 15. Go to our text, page number 15. There you can see the author has quoted verses of Quran. And then what she has done in the translation, she has made the pronouns as bold. So what will be your homework is to say its equivalent in Arabic. Where is in Arabic? For example, he say, he is Allah the One. So where is he in that ayat? What is the he?
Huwa.
Hasan, huwa. Huwallahu ahad. He is Allah the One. So you will go reverse. Now, what she has done, she has highlighted for us the independent pronouns by making them bold in the translation. What we will do, besides the slides that you are going to highlight the independent pronouns, in these verses, there are how many verses in that page? Yeah, if you take page 15 and 16, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we did the first one. Let's do two more, and then we'll pause there, okay? Now, Bismillah. Huwa khayrun lakum. It is good for you. So what is the Arabic of it in this verse? Anybody else? It is good for you. The translation is it is good. And it is bold. It is an independent pronoun. What is this Arabic?
Huwa.
Ahsant. Huwa. You can see. Huwa khayrun lakum. So did you see, subhanallah, that in the first place, huwa meant he. In the second ayat, huwa meant it. Did you see this thing? Why? Because unlike in English, it is only for inanimate things, right? He is for living things. In Arabic, no. In Arabic, you can use huwa for animate things and also inanimate things. That means things which are living and not. No. So huwa khairun lakum. It is good for you. So that idea or that particular action is good for you, which is not a living thing, but still use huwa. Are you with me? If you read the whole ayat, perhaps you know what is huwa referring to you. If you read the whole ayat. No. But that one. So one more we can see. So is huma fil ghar. When they two men were in the cave, who are these two men? Your history. What is the answer here historically? The two men in the cave, who are these?
The Prophet and Abu Bakr?
Yes. Prophet and Abu Bakr, they were in the cave, right? So is huma fil ghar. So what is the Arabic for two? The two? What is the pronoun there in Arabic?
Huma.
Huma asant. So is huma when they two are in the cave, huma. So are you with me? So as far as the homework is concerned, what we'll do is that this passage, first 10 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, which we already covered up to number 3, no, up to number 4 we already done, right? Now remaining from 5 to 10, you highlight the pronouns, detach and also attach if you know. And as far as these verses are concerned, you'll just now, already the verses has been highlighted. You have to find the Arabic equivalent of he, it, or the two, they all, it, they again. Try to find the Arabic equivalent. Okay, so that will be your homework. I really hope that you will do it. Now, how do you do it? For example, maybe either you can write it and then take a picture and send by email, or for example, let's say the answer to number 4 was, let's say whom, for example, or no, minha, for example. Then you will just write MIN, just write transliteration and send the answer. That you can say, for example, 537, this is verse number 537. The pronoun is, for instance, mina. So write MINA. So just you can even just email that way, or you can just write it on a piece of paper and take a picture and send it, whatever is easier for you. Okay? But don't send audio messages, please. No, just this. It's easy for me to read and just give my comments. So that will be your homework. I didn't have time today to test the 10 words, but inshallah, we will do it next week. Now, before we end, one thing keep in mind. Next Monday, inshallah, is, the Wafat night of the 7th Imam, because 7th Imam's Wafat is 25th of Rajab. Next Monday will be 24th of Rajab. We will still have the class. I know the majlis will be there at JCC. I realize that thing. But because we don't have much time, the month of Ramadan is coming, I would like to complete the course there. But what we will do as a respect for the 7th Imam, before I start the class, I'll take 1 or 2 what hadith of the Imam and we'll discuss it. So just as a respect for that occasion. So please keep that in mind, that we will have the class on. I also will miss the majlis at the JCC, but we will have the class on. And I will have 2 or 3 hadiths from the 7th Imam, which we'll discuss, inshallah. Any questions? Any clarifications? So if there are no questions, we will end level 1 here, and now we get to level 2. Any questions? So you can stay behind, you can leave by all means, those who are level 1, and now we'll go to the slides for level 2. Okay, so we go to level 2. I hope the level 2 students are here. Let me just check it. Yeah, Mariam, Haidar, Zainab, yeah, good, they're there, subhanAllah. Thank you to be there on time, so we can start immediately. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. This is level 2 of our course. Now, this is, as you can see, session 12. How session 12? Because those of you who were there, level 1, they completed the 10 sessions there. And then now, last week, that was session 11, session 12. Okay, that's how we are there. The dua for you people is slightly different. Okay, because now you are level 2, so it's a slightly different dua. Any volunteer who can recite the dua? Okay. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. Allahumma wafiqna lima tuhib wa tarda wa la takilna ila anfusina tarfat aynin abada. Allahumma shrah bil Qur'ani sadri wasta'mil bil Qur'ani badani wa nawwir bil Qur'ani basari wa atlik bil Qur'ani lisani wa a'inni alayhi ma abqaytani wa innahu la hawla wa la quwwata illa bik. This is the dua, as I said, the first line, all of you are aware. We discussed about it also last class, level 1. But the second 2 lines are dua taught by the first Imam when you complete the Quran. That, oh Allah, widen my chest through the Quran, let my body follow the Quran, enlighten my eyes through the Quran, let my tongue speak out of the Quran, and help me to stay on it so long as you let me live. For surely there is no power nor strength except you. So you can see that we have to live according to the values of Quran, teachings of Quran. Okay. Again, now we come to the homework. But before that, this is a beautiful hadith, which we did discuss briefly. Again, reminder, the Prophet says, "Nawwiru buyutakum bitilawatil Quran." Illuminate your houses through recitation of the Quran. No. وَلَا تَتَّخِذُهَا قُبُورًا. Do not make it as grave. Do not make your house into grave. What is there in the grave? It's darkness. So a house in which Quran is not recited is like a dark, it's like a grave. No. Then it says, Kama falat Yahudu wan Nasara. The way it was done by the Jews and the Christians of the past. What they did? Sallu fil kanaisi wal bi'a. Atilu buyutahum. They did recite the holy book in their synagogues and churches, but abandoned their houses. They used to only recite the holy books either in a church or in a synagogue. With us, we recite Quran in the masjid, but also at home. Don't leave your home without reciting the Quran, right? Because Allah's Prophet says, if you do that, you enlighten, you illuminate your house, right? Then he says, إِنَّ الْبَيْتَ إِذَا كَثُرَ فِيهِ تِلَاوَةُ الْقُرْآنِ كَثُرَ خَيْرٌ. Subhanallah, this is so beautiful. For a house in which a lot of Quran is recited, will have abundance of goodness. So if you want your house to have good things, good environment, good respect from each other, right? Provision, you are working, your father is working, your spouse is working. If you know all that goodness is through Quran, if you say a lot of Quran, and see this is a really beautiful phrase. فَإِنَّ الْبَيْتَ إِذَا كَثُرَ فِي تِلَاوَةِ الْقُرْآنِ كَثُرَ خَيْرُهُ. But not only that, Allah is going to expand His inhabitants with His provision, right? Sustenance of And then He says, وَأَضَاءَ لِأَهْلِ السَّمَاءِ كَمَا تُضِيءَ نُجُومَ السَّمَاءِ بِأَهْلِ الدُّنْيَا. The way the stars are illumination for people of the earth, our houses in which Quran is cited are illumination for people of the heavens. Those who are in heaven, the angels, and they are there, when they look down, those houses in which Quran recited, it will shine like no star. Okay? So we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah give us tawfiq that we are able to recite the Quran regularly. Okay? Now here it is the homework we give. Anybody can recite this surah? There's nobody who can recite the surah. We are level 2 now. Are you shy of reciting the surah? This surah? There's no volunteer? How about you give me a break if you recite? Subhanallah. Are you shy of reciting Quran? This is a short surah. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. So the homework was that you highlight mudaf, mudaf ilayh, the possessive phrases here. So there was one homework to see that I think, if I remember, only one person answered. Okay, now it's your turn. Let's start. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What is mudaf, mudaf ilayh there?
Bismillahi.
Good. Bismillahi, in the name of Allah. That's correct. Thank you very much. So you can see in the name of Allah, right? Of, you can see. Remember I told you mudaf mudaf ilayh is that the first thing is owned or belongs to the second one. So in the name of Allah, it means that name is belong to Allah. So Bismillah, that's correct. So let's that's why I did into. So let me now. So that I can make changes. Why I can't? Hold on. Maybe because it is I can't make changes because I should be able to make changes. In the past, I've done that. Subhanallah. I don't know why. Okay, in any case, I seem cannot make changes. Okay, so Bismillah, I thought that I should be able to make changes, but because it's Zoom, in the past we have done it. Subhanallah. Okay, I thought that I could make changes here, but I could not do that. Yeah, I cannot put a cursor there on the slide. Okay, so Bismillah, yes. Qul a'udhu rabbil falak.
برب الفلق.
Yes, I want everybody to participate. Yes, rabbil falak, that's correct. So, rabbil falak. I just cannot put my cursor on the. Does not allow me for some reason. Slide short. Okay, so rabbil falak. Yeah, good. Subhanallah. So rabbil falak, yes, because of you can see the Lord of the dawn, right? Rabbil falak. So mudaf mudaf ilayh. Then next one, min sharri ma khalaq. Now this is tricky. Even in other class, we had some kind of discussion on this. Min sharri ma khalaq. It is sharri ma khalaq. Now I know you will say, because in mudaf ilayhi, we have the first noun and the second noun, right? For example, no, Bismillah, no, Bismillah, no, Bismillahi, so in the name of Allah. So here it is Rabbil Falak, for example. Why is Sharri Ma Falak is mudaf ilayhi? I'll tell you why. Because Ma technically is a noun. Word Ma. Ma has two meanings. Ma means what? Ma also means no. In this case, you can see here, for example, if you see the meaning, the evil of what he has created. Do you see the he there? So that he is ma is a noun. So min sharri ma khalaq. The second what evidence is, what is mudaf? Mudaf is definite or indefinite? Mudaf is just check. You can open the text. It's page lesson 12. Is mudaf definite or indefinite?
Indefinite.
It is indefinite, but becomes definite because of what? Because of, it is indefinite always, you are right, but becomes definite because of what? Because of connecting to
Ma.
no mudaf ilayhi, right? Let's go. Let's open page. If you go to lesson 12, you go to lesson 12. See, the first noun is mudaf. It is always be indefinite noun. In no case it will be taken al, right? That we know. But then we are told that yeah, the mudaf is, the first noun is called mudaf. It is always be indefinite noun, and no case will be al, right? The last letter of the noun will have fatha, kasra, duma, but will never have damatain, kasratain, fatatain, kasratain, damatain. So what does it mean? The fact that it loses its tanween, it is definite, right? Because indefinite you will find that will always, it is indefinite has tanween, right? Remember we said earlier that indefinite is tanween. The fact that it loses tanween, so it is no longer noun, it becomes definite on account of, for example, let's say Kitabullahi. It was Kitabun, and say Kitabullah, book of Allah. So book is indefinite. Kitabullahi, Allah, book of Allah. So now that book becomes definite because of what we're fixing to mudaf ilayh, right? So you can see min sharri ma khalaq. It was sharrin, but became sharri, right? Became sharri because of what? It now is connected to mudaf ilayh, ma khalaq, with what you created. So I know this was little tricky, but it is min sharri ma khalaq. There is a background voice. Can somebody, there's a background voice, please, if you can just put, okay, so min sharri ma khalaq. And then, وَمِن شَرِّ غَاسِقٍ إِذَا وَقَبَ. What is mudaf ilayh? What is mudaf ilayh?
Is it Shari Ghasikin?
Yes, sharri ghas, not sharri ghasikin. Yeah, sharri ghasikin. Again, you can see it was sharrin, became sharri because of mudaf. Okay, so sharri ghasikin. Again, the evil of the dark night. Sharri ghasikin. Idha waqab, when it falls or when it spreads, right? Idha waqab, or when it spreads, or yes. ومن شر النفاثات في العقد. What is mudaf ilayh? I want all of you to participate, please.
Sharrin nafathati.
Yes, Sharrin Nafasati. Sharrin Nafasati again. No. So evil of the witches. So Nafasati, will occur when they blow the knots. Yeah. I mean, Sharri Hasid is Asad.
Sharon Hasidin.
Sharri Hasid Asad. So you can see the evil of the evil of envious, of the Hasid, of a jealous, when he envies. So these are all mudaf mudaf ilayh. Every sentence has mudaf mudaf ilayh. So that was what we were supposed to do. Now, before we come to some questions, this is just the merit. Whoever recites Surah Al-Falaq, when he goes to sleep, will have a great reward. It is a safeguard from every evil and effective protection against every evil eye. Okay, so keep this in mind. Inshallah, hopefully beginning today, before you go to bed, let us recite this surah. Prophet says that if you do this thing, then it will be a protection against a bad eye, and also it will a great reward. Yes, Halia?
Assalamu alaikum. I had a question. So is Sharra Nafasat, that's definite, but then the Hasidin is indefinite?
Sharri Hasidin. Yes, yes. It can be, yes. The second one, if you see again, if you go to Mudaf Pule lesson, it says there, right? If you go to lesson number 12, you can see it says that Mudaf Ilay is generally definite. Generally, it means sometimes it can be also indefinite.
Okay.
So in this case, yes, Shari Hasin is indefinite. That's
Okay.
correct, yeah.
Yeah.
The-
And then I got curious about why, but I don't know. We could discuss that too.
Good. So that's fine. So now this is a surah I hope that we are going to recite when we, inshallah, know what before sleeping. Now the questions for you, because this is a revision of the past lesson. All of you are level 2, so why is Arab Rabb has kasra in this verse? Kul a'udhu bi rabbin nas. Why there is kasra under ba? Yes, Fatima?
Because B Rabbi, harf jar is there, B.
So because of preposition ba.
Yeah.
Or jar is correct, or you can say preposition. Because of preposition be, right? Be rabbil falak. So be rabbi. Good, very good. Question number 2. What do you understand from the Lord of the daybreak? What does it mean, Lord of the daybreak? This is because there was a question that somebody said that does it mean that daybreak has its own Lord? So what do you understand by the word what? Birabbil falak. What do you understand by that? Yes, Fatima?
Maybe when the day rise, beginning of the day.
But the phrase, the Lord of the daybreak, what does it mean?
I guess you could say the one who is powerful enough to move the sun out of the obviously into the darkness, and who has that power, the only one that has the power.
Yeah. The Lord, through his power, is the one who brings about these changes. Every day in the morning, as you see that the darkness is broken, the light pierces into the darkness of the night, and the day appears. So that kind of power is by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it doesn't mean that Falak is his own Lord. It just means that the Lord who has the power of bringing about the daytime. In other words, as we are told that we see Allah every day in our signs, day and night, there are so many signs. So this is one, that in the morning, as you see, there's a beautiful dua Sabah about Amir Mu'mineen. If you see, he talks about how those changes come about the power, how Allah brings about the power, how which was so dark, and suddenly you can find that that morning begins and appears. It's a very special that scene, right? People who are living near the bank of a river, they go and early in the morning they see the sun rise as how it is breaking. It's a very beautiful scene. Early in the morning, for example, you see that how it was completely dark, pitch dark, right? Unfortunately, all of us live in cities. We don't realize this thing because already all night also there are so many lights which illuminate. But if you go to a place, if you are away from the town, on the streets, for example, one fine day you are driving, it is completely dark. And if you find that area is safe to stop, you should stop and just observe. Observe that appearance of how that there is a whole light which slowly pierces into the darkness, and then falak comes. Okay, so Rabbil Falak means the Lord who has the power of bringing about that dawn. Okay, that break out. That is what that daybreak. That's what it means. Okay. Number 3, why is the Arab of the Shar has kasra in verses 2, 3, 4, and 5? Besides Fatima, anybody else? I want others to also participate. Mariam, we have not participated. Mariam, is there? Yes.
What were you saying?
Anybody? Yes. Yes, Bismillah. Yes. Why is there is kasra under shar in verse number 2, 3, 4, 5?
I'm not entirely sure. I wasn't here last week.
No, this is not last week. This is from level 1.
Is it because of the min?
Exactly. Yes. Ahsan. It's because of preposition min. Right? ومن شر ما خلق ومن شر نفاثات ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد, right? ومن شر ما خلق. So this min is a preposition which is there in all 4 verses. Min sharri, min sharri, min sharri, min sharri. So it's a revision of what we did earlier of preposition, lessons on preposition. Because mind you, we are level 2. We are now in lesson number 13, 14. We are finishing 12. We are getting 13. So any questions as far as lesson 12 is concerned? Now we are going to lesson 13. Before I do that, any questions you have got about lesson 12? Okay. So if no questions, let's start now. Lesson 13. You can open the text, okay? Open the text, lesson number 13. So these are some of the points. Now we are coming to, it's not mudaf ilayh, it's not sifa mawsuf. This is now jumlatul ismiya. In Arabic, you can have a sentence starts with a noun or starts with a verb. For example, Allahu khaliqun. Allah is a creator. Okay, Allahu khaliqun. Allah is a creator. So it's a nominal sentence. It starts with a noun. Allahu razikun. Allah is a provider, risk. He gives risk. No. So, but on the other hand, if you say khalaqanallahu, Allah created us. Khalaqani Allah, khalaqani Allah or khalaqan Allah. Allah created us. No? So created us Allah. Khalaqa is a verb. So there's a verbal sentence. This lesson is about nominal sentence. No, sentence which begin with noun. The first word is noun and then sentence begin. No? So the first noun is always definite, without exception, right? The second noun is generally indefinite. So again, it can be indefinite, but generally indefinite. No? So the first noun is definite. The second noun is generally indefinite. So it may be sometimes definite, indefinite, but normally it's indefinite. Okay. The Arab. What is Arab? Anybody knows what is Arab? What is the meaning of Arab? Yes.
Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma, or Tanween?
Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma, or Tanween. One more thing. What is missing there? Where do you find it? Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma.
At the end.
In the last letter of a noun. That is Arab. Okay, just now we were doing earlier, you see, min sharri. What we were concerned about, the kasra and the ra, right? You can see. We said bi rabbi, the kasra and the, so the last letter of the noun. So that is Arab, okay? So Arab is when you see fatha, kasra, dhamma, or fatatain, or kasratain, or dhammatain, on the last letter of a noun, this is not i'rab. You will be using this word again and again, i'rab, okay? So the i'rab of both the nouns will either have dhamma or dhammatain. So in jumlatul ismiya, in a letter, in a what sentence which is a nominal sentence which starts with a noun, you have dhamma on the first word and also dhamma in the second, or dhammatain in the first word and dhammatain both. So you'll find that either both of them have i'rab of dhamma or dhammatain. So this case, when there is dhamma on the, when the i'rab of dhamma is there, or dhammatain is known as nominative. If the i'rab is fatatain, we say accusative. If the i'rab is kasra or kasratain, we say genitive. So again, keep in mind, these words, there are 4 words we have today, you have to know them. Most of it is i'rab, which we have done earlier. I'rab is what is found on the last letter of a noun. And just now it is either fatha, kasra, or dhamma, or fatatain, kasrat, tumatain. Of course, this will change once we come to plural, but just singular. Okay, so this is known as i'rab. Then, if the i'rab is dhamma or dhammatain, we say it's a nominative case. If we say i'rab is kasra, fatha, or fatatain, we say accusative case, right? And then, if it is what fatha, kasra, or kasratain, it is genitive case. Okay, so this you will come again and again. So please try to master these words. In a nominal sentence, the first noun is subject, is known as called as mubtada in Arabic, and the second noun is a predicate. Again, it's a new word, or it's called khabar. Khabar literally means news. So, for example, let's say Allahu Ahad. Okay, Allah is one, right? All of us know Allah is one. So Allah is a subject which is being discussed. Now you want to say information. Who is this Allah? We say Allahu Ahad. Allah is one. So Allah is mubtada, subject, and predicate or khabar is ahad. So it's not describing Allah, but just saying that Allah, who is Allah, right? So Allah ahad. So this is known as a jumlatul ismiya, a nominal sentence. Okay, the predicate agrees with the subject in number, singular, dual, or plural, and gender. So if the mubtada, if the subject is masculine, the khabar also will be masculine. It's predicate. If the subject is singular, the predicate has to be singular. Okay, so keep in mind. So this is a sentence of 2 words which begins with a noun. It's known as nominal sentence. The first is the subject. The second is what predicate. Okay, khabar. Is that clear? Some more points. Okay. Number 6 point. The predicate can be a proper noun when it is not an adjective. Sometimes a proper predicate can also be a proper noun. So, for example, let's say Ana Yusuf. So you can see Ana is a subject, I. Then my name is Hasnain, Ana Hasnain. So it's a complete sentence. Ana Hasnain. But I will take an example of Quran. Ana Yusuf. I am Yusuf. Right? This is in Quran. You know, right? When anybody knows when does this come in this surah? Anybody knows the story of Yusuf and his brothers? Yes, Mariam, go ahead.
About Hazrat Yusuf, the surah in the Quran obviously describes how he had 12 brothers and they were from a different mother. They were always very jealous of Hazrat Yaqub's love for him. And so they put him in a well, and then he just, obviously, he went from a slave boy to imprisonment to the king or minister of Egypt.
Yeah, but where does this come? When in the story, where does this phrase come? Ana Yusuf, wa hadha akhi.
When he, I believe, when he exposes himself to his brothers after they don't recognize him.
Yeah, when he identifies himself. Now that brothers have started doubting from his words and from the way he was behaving, they said, "Are you Yusuf? Anta Yusuf? Are you Yusuf?" It says, Ana Yusufu wa hadha akhi. And Benjamin, who was detained earlier, is my brother. Okay, so good. So Ana Yusuf is a nominal sentence. An Yusuf. So you can see the predicate can be a proper noun when it is not an adjective. No? So it is a proper noun. Ana Yusuf. Wa hadha akhi, and this is my brother. Huwallahu, you can see. Huwallahu, he is Allah. So he is a subject, Allah, Huwallahu. And he is Kul Huwallah. When they ask who is Allah, the Huwallahu. And then say Allahu Ahad, also that is noun, there is subject and predicate. So this Huwallahu Ahad, Huwallahu is noun and predicate, and Allah Ahad is noun and predicate. You can see. So the Allah is a predicate for the first sentence, is a noun subject for the second sentence. Okay. Nominal sentence has a definite noun followed by indefinite noun. Okay. So nominal sentence has a definite noun and followed by indefinite noun. Here the list of definite nouns is nominal sentence. So you can see how can what in a nominal sentence, how can a subject can be definite? These are these. Either it is a proper name, or it is a pronouns, or it is demonstrative pronoun haza, zalika, or it is relative pronoun alladhi, allati, which will come. Or, for example, all these are ways of showing that it's definite noun. So the first part of a nominal sentence is a definite noun, which is subject. It can be either a proper name, it can be a pronoun, it can be demonstrative. For example, haza, akhi. Haza akhi. So haza akhi, this is my brother. Haza is this, referring to Benjamin, is my brother. So haza is a subject, akhi is what predicate, khabar. Okay, haza akhi. It can be. We already covered earlier that all pronouns, nouns which are present by al also are definite. So you can also, for example, be in so the mudaf. Mudaf in a possessive phrase is definite. Remember we said earlier. So mudaf is definite on a possessive phrase, and also if a noun has al, then also is definite. So these are all forms of definite nouns in a nominal sentence. Okay. So now let us look at some of the verses. Okay, we open or go to pages 41, 43, the text. Nominal sentence. So it is. Also, they're given, for example, on page 42, besides all this, you can see proper nouns, pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, noun precise. It also says if it is harfun nida, ya rajul. Ya rajulu also will be, ya will be harfun nida. Ya also is considered as a proper noun. Ya. So these are all proper nouns in a nominal sentence. Okay, these are 8 cases, all this, right? And then they'll give the examples. So let us look at Bismillah, page 41. Wallahu ghafur rahim. Wallahu rahim. So Wallahu, Allah is forgiving, most merciful. So of course, why is a conjugation and? Allah is a subject, ghafur rahim, that is predicate, is a khabar. So Allah is a subject, and then it describes. Allah is kind of what Ghafur Rahim is a predicate. Of course, here it is adjective, but it's a predicate. No, in this case. وَلَهُمْ فِي الْآخِرَةِ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. So for them in the hereafter is عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. So وَلَهُمْ is a subject, مبتدا, فِي الْآخِرَةِ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. This all is khabar, because it is giving information about what will they have thereafter. وَأَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ, right? And they are antum, and you are Muslimun. So antum is a mubtada, is a subject. Muslimun is object, is a predicate, is a khabar. And you are Muslim, so it gives information who you are, Muslim. Dhalika, we say dhalika also here. Point number C, you can see. هذا ذلك ذلك من أنباء الغيب. This is part of the tidings of the unseen. So ذلك is a mubtada or subject, and min أنباء الغيب is all what it is considered as what khabar or predicate. Okay? We did Yusuf. And then of course, if you go in a sentence, we will not number 10. Just look at number 10 on page 43. Right? In a sentence that has a predicate, has a definite noun, a detached pronoun, which is accordance with the gender and number of subjects, is placed in between the subject and predicate. Example. So in a sentence that a predicate is indefinite noun. So predicate, as we said, is indefinite, right? But in case if it is predicate, for example, is a definite noun, what we'll do, we'll put a pronoun there. Inna Allaha huwa ar-Razzaq. Allah is He who gives all the sustenance. So that He is placed between Allah and Razzaq. Allah, Inna Allah, Allah is the subject. Razzaq is a predicate. But if the predicate is proper noun, is a definite, then we put huwa. Inna Allah huwa Razzaq. Ulaika humul muflihun. No, those will prosper. Innaka anta samiul alim. Indeed, you are the one who is all hearing, all knowing. So innaka is a subject. It is mubtada. Innaka anta, no, as-samiul alim. That no, as-samiul alim is now describing Allah, but because it is definite form, we put pronoun in between. Innaka anta as-samiul alim. Dhalika, that is a what subject mubtada. Al-fawz lazim, supreme felicity, no, real success. But in between, we put pronoun, huwa. Okay? So this is in a sentence that has a predicate. Again, you can say I'm reading there on page 43. In a sentence that has a predicate, a khabar, which is a definite noun, a detached pronoun is placed in between. Okay? We will not look at number 11 point because that is exceptional. I don't want to confuse just now because number 11 is almost like contradicting number 10. So we will not look at number 11 because that is very exceptional. Up to 10 points, you should know this. So this is about nominal sentence. In nominal sentence, again, sentences can be nominal or verbal. Nominal sentence is a sentence which begins with a noun. Okay. In nominal sentence, the first is a definite noun. Okay. You can see always. The first is always a noun. The second can be generally indefinite. If it is definite, then you are going to put a pronoun, as we said, right? And then we did about i'rab. That can be nominative, accusative, genitive. We will come to it again. But keep in mind, when it comes to mubtada and khabar, the i'rab of both of them is nominative. Okay, it will be nominative. Keep in mind. And then, of course, we'll come to accusative in that one. And then these are the ways how it can be definite. How can a mubtada be definite? Either it's a proper name, or it's a pronoun, or it's a demonstrative noun, or relative noun. Okay. Or it is al or mudaf ilayh. Any questions? Any clarifications? So inshallah, just now I will not post it any homework here. We discuss what I will do. Inshallah, I will either post it on the website or on this slide when I post it on the website, or I'll send you email, inshallah, that what is the homework. Any questions? Any clarifications? Okay. Yes, Fatma, a question?
Yeah, I want to ask, we are saying like Wallahu Ghafurur Rahim. So wa is also included as a muqtada, predicate?
Very good question. Because you know what has happened is that in this particular case, because it is ayat from the Quran, we will do that, yeah. So what happens that usually if it does not ayat of Quran, we'll just say Allahu Ghafurur Rahim. But in this case, because just to be loyal to the Quran, that we don't want to drop out something which is there. We just want to give an example from the Quran, but at the same time, we don't drop out. It's like, for example, we have got Kul Huwallahu, right? So, Gaddafi, I don't know how many of you know, Gaddafi was the president of Libya. He was some crazy guy, So he was so arrogant, and at one stage he said that let us drop Kul in the Quran, because Kul is all historical. But the scholar said, no, you cannot do that. If you start dropping one thing, you can stop another. You want to keep Quran intact. Okay? So it is Allahu Ghafur Rahim. You're right. Allah is subject, and Ghafur Rahim is predicate. But there is Wallah because it is part of the Quran, so we'll just keep it. That's why.
And one more question, when we are reading like Ana Yusufu, so
Yes.
Ana Yusuf is both Mubtada or only Ana or Ya Yusuf is
No,
Mubtada?
Ana is Mubtada, Yusuf is Khabar.
Okay, thank you.
And Hada is again Mubtada, Akhi is Khabar. Again, you can see Wow is there, right? Because we don't want to change the Quranic verse. Yeah. Any other questions?
And what about Huwallahu Ahad? Huwallahu
Yes.
Ahad. So
Huwa is Mubtada, Allah is Khabar. But then the second sentence, Allahu Ahad, Allah is now Mubtada, Ahad is a Khabar.
Right. Thank you.
So Allah plays the role of Khabar in the first sentence, but becomes subject in the second sentence. The whole idea is for us that it is a nominal sentence, and we should know that in nominal sentence, Mubtada and Khabar are always nominated. Okay. Thank you again, inshallah. We will see you next next week, inshallah. And I will send you, inshallah, email about the homework, inshallah. Please keep us in your du'as. And we are going to meet next Monday, although it is Wafat night, we are going to meet, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khairan.
Allah Hafiz.